Today, Precarious plays
Deus Ex, Human Revolution.
There's something more intimidating about these guys when they have the feet that look a little bit more like chicken. They look... You know fantasy, like, puck characters?
Yes.
Satyrs?
Mm-hmm.
I always find satyrs a little bit frightening. Not necessarily because they're mean and evil, but...
It's because they're sex pests.
Sex pests, and they're mischievous, but yeah, sex pests. That's a problem. But
Is that just another Gatling device, or is that one of those laser cannons? It's got a weird stock, so I'm gonna knock him out and see if it's a laser gun.
But those legs, they look too functional and mischievous.
I see another person. I see another triangle on the minimap.
Mm-hmm. Where? I
can't tell where they are.
I think they're through...
Oh, there they are.
Yeah.
So I should be able to knock that guy out if I can drag him over here behind the car quickly enough.
Where did they get that car to put down here?
This is a parking garage.
Oh, okay.
It's just been closed off in weird ways.
Do people have this level of wreck in a parking garage? Maybe they...
It's been stripped for parts.
Okay.
Very roughly, it seems. I think these guys might be part Satyr. But, like, for machines.
Oh.
Come on, Jensen. Get your head in the game. Pretty sure it's just a heavy rifle.
I wonder when
on top of everything.
I wonder when they went through to design these types of augments, if they looked at, like, the most efficient feet, you know, and the most efficient knee joints. Like, when the designers on this game were working on things.
There are a lot of different designs.
There are.
So I think that what they probably did is they probably came up with a variety and then applied them. I imagine that they probably have some sort of internal, what would it be, chronography?
Mm-hmm. Of, like, when different models of different augments came out.
Yeah. They probably have a timetable.
Yeah.
Timeline.
Oh, I did send you that video of, what are they called? Cheetahs? MIT's little cheetah robots.
Mm-hmm.
They're so cool. And there's a video somewhere of them, and there are about, I want to say, a dozen cheetahs. And they're, you know, after you work super hard to make a crazy thing, you have to then go play with it, obviously. And they basically just have a bunch of MIT students driving these little guys and having them jump and bounce around and play soccer badly, play soccer poorly, but still, and, like, do flips and...
Hide in leaves,
and do creepy stuff, and just run around and...
Be free.
Yeah, it was really neat to watch, and I love watching how resilient those little robots have become. Because, you know, it used to be, you make something like that and it's a really delicate piece of machinery and it doesn't get to do much, but...
Oh, yeah. I know that people have weird, strong feelings about robots on the internet.
Yeah?
Like, oddly divisive. Yeah. Okay. One thing that I do whenever I look at a video concerning robotics, I usually spend about 15 or 20 minutes going through and just downvoting any comment that mentions Skynet or Terminator.
Yeah, like, if that's how it ends, that's how it ends, people. Robots are fun and cool.
Listen, man, here's my point of view.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's a robot or your shitty organic kid that you're gonna pop out 3 of accidentally, you fuck up. It doesn't matter if it's organic or if it's synthetic. The things you make are gonna try to kill you sooner or later eventually anyway.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's a robot or not.
Yeah. Well,
And I'm only being slightly hyperbolic. I do kind of feel like there's some truth in that. I'm barely inflating it.
well, I just think robots are fun and cool most of the time. It's like any freaking tool, though. I mean, you can do bad things with anything. So I really enjoy all of the robot videos of the fine folks at MIT playing with their robots. Their well-deserved playtime with their robots. I don't know. I have a lot of respect for people who are building things in general, and robots are complicated. There's a lot of stuff that you have to consider, and there's a lot of testing that you have to do, and not to mention getting it all to move at the same time, and then making it sturdy enough to do backflips and run around and play soccer.
Yeah, that's what I was going to mention before is there's a video, I think it's Boston Dynamics, where they're testing the ability of one of their upright biped robots, their ability to keep its balance. So they're trying to push it around with hockey sticks. And, like, don't get me wrong, I laughed, but it was in spite of myself. I should not have laughed because I feel like too many people actually think like, oh yeah, that's true. That's what's gonna happen. This is a fear that I am. If I don't actually feel this way myself, I'm going to perpetuate it, and people are really gonna be afraid of this.
Yeah.
Somebody made a really pretty funny computer enhanced video. Like it was a person, I saw the making of. It was a person that they in a suit that they did effects over in post-production.
Yeah.
But it was modeled very much after a Boston Dynamics video.
Yeah.
But when it comes time for the people to shove the robot with the hockey sticks,
Yeah.
the robot like whips around and grabs the hockey stick and mashes a guy in the gut with it and then breaks it over somebody else's head. You know, it's just...
Yeah, that's funny, but it's funny unless you're actually scared, and then it's not funny. You know? And then it's like, no, you don't actually... No, don't fear this. There are plenty of other things to be scared about.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, have you seen your neighbors recently? It's probably them you need to be worried. I don't know, that's the same kind of... That's not necessarily true.
Yeah, but...
Your neighbors are probably fine.
Yeah, your neighbors are probably fine. Pretty likely. But the thing is that, like, I love... Oh, and, like, the one where with the dog... I think it's called The Dog. Where they, like, try to kick it over with their feet. It makes me feel bad, but I realize that they're doing stability testing. But I get the same feeling when I see stuff like that as I do when I watch people box. I'm like, oh, no, don't do that. But it just seems kind of violent. But it's so cool. Like, how many custom parts do you think are in those robots? You know? How many things have to be custom machined so that they'll stand up to whatever? It has to be a super interesting process to put together something like that.
Well, I think that part of the process right now is to use... Commercial robots are becoming closer to a reality.
Yeah.
Because I know that there are industrial robots, and I mean industrial robots in the sense of, like, what I thought we've all been waiting on for, like, since the inception of science fiction as a genre, right? And actually, no, like, I'm pretty sure that there are examples of Greek works where they're talking about making metal men.
Yeah.
And there are impressive, very old clockwork contraptions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where
I can't think of an example of one of those right now, though.
I can't think of a specific example, but I know that it's a sentiment that has been in mind for a long time.
Yeah, they have a lot of robot cooks now.
But I don't mean industrial robots like stationary arms.
Yeah.
I mean,
Access granted.
I can't remember the model, but it's like it looks sort of like a little mobile ottoman or a funny dog.
A funny dog? Yeah?
Yeah, it doesn't really have a head per se. It's a quadruped.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Okay.
But they are being provided to industrial sites. They're trying to find a market for them.
Mm-hmm.
So mining and construction companies, because right now it still takes like a team of people to maintain them, I think.
Yeah.
So they can't just hand them out to people,
Yeah.
to groups. You know what? I think I might be the tiniest bit lost. So let me.
This is a big space. I'm
Yeah.
kind of impressed by it right now. I mean, it's held several conversations about the nature of robotics.